Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on your way in. Look at Mr. Z being on time today, right? Actually, I was a little early. I actually okay, yeah, I went the wrong way. Yeah. I actually just did some last little bit of um my notes. So I actually was ready early. Yay. Yay for me. Okay. So shout out to Media Man. Shout out to that brother just flaming him, right? Just body blows, man. Like just body blows. And so um and I'll actually tag him in the title later. So Media Man just goes through um point by point on his channel and just pretty much is responding to the sexism and the misandry that we have been hearing from black women in the black community about black men, right? For 4 and 5 decades, he says. I say more like 4, 5, 6 decades, but okay. Right. So, just a matter of semantics with that. Yeah, but for decades. And so he he much like the rest, well, I don't think he's not part of the black manosphere, but much like the black manosphere, he responds with a lot of data, with numbers, with information, and that's important because what is what is alluded to in this conversation is as is it's as if black men are just these raving sexist monsters, these lunatics, just looking to harm black women. Like we wake up thinking about harming black women, right? The nearest black woman, I want to insult her looks. I want to um, make her feel undesirable. I want to belittle her. I want to um, physically harm her. I want to do the train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. I want to do the worst to her, right? This is how it's said in the black community. Every black man wants to harm a black woman. You wake up in the morning getting a hard on, thinking about harming black women. And that is what you do as a black man. That is your life's goal, is to harm black children, namely black girls and black women, right? Okay. And so Media Man is essentially responding to that, right? And he's doing a pretty good job at it actually on his channel. Um, and so we're gonna go through a couple of points that he mentioned, but that I want to somewhat elaborate on and kind of give my spin on, my opinions on. Um, and we'll start off with something that I've said before, which is many of these and much of this is going to be Media Man responding to a young lady named B Taylor that is on the crew often. Um, and this is one of those other divester women, or at least divester advocates. This is one of those, the black man, the majority of black men, because they like to say, well, we don't say all. Okay, cool. Black men writ large are the boogeyman, and white men writ large are God. And like I said before, for many of you ladies, the black man is the boogeyman, the white man is God, and you have neither. Right? And you have neither. How is this type of rhetoric working for you? It's not. Right? And that's me responding to Media Man and him saying you haven't improved for black men, you haven't improved for white men. Well, yeah. Right? And there was another video the brother did. I did not link it, but he essentially, shows how many black women want to be single. They're like overtly saying, I would rather be single, right? Right. So yeah, that's important to emphasize. Okay, let me hit some of these notes while I'm at this red light. Okay, everyone. All right, let's get to the notes. Okay. Um, as I said, this is a response to most of this is a response to B Taylor. So the stuff that I'm going to be covering, um, and as the title says, proof of concept, right? Show proof of concept. A lot of what is happening is that black men are now responding to decades of sexism towards black men, coming from black women, misandry coming from black women. And black women got to run the yard for decades with this conversation because white racist society gave them the microphone. White racist society gave them the microphone, and they got to run the yard with the conversation. And hopefully you guys can still hear me. I know I might have went out for a second. But yeah, they got to run the yard with the conversation because white racist society gave them the microphone. And now that black men are responding, many black women do not know how to respond to many black men responding to the sexism. So one thing that I said here is the $35,000 after college. So a year after college, black women are earning some $35,000 a year. Okay, that's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not baller status, but it's not the worst thing in the world. There's nothing wrong with that. But we are led to believe that every black woman is kicking ass, right? Particularly college educated black women. They are kicking ass, and they are stuck in the black community having to choose from these lowly black men that do not work, or if they do work, they work some menial job, probably making less than $20,000 a year, right? Just loser black women. I mean, excuse me, loser black men, and these black women are just kicking ass, right? They're earning some 75, 80, 100, 120, $150,000 a year. And like I said before, they're stuck in the black community with $15,000 a year earners, if even, right? That's what black men are being told, right? That's what's being suggested in the black community about black men. And so it's good to know that in actuality, these women once again are just pulling numbers out of their rear end, or just saying that. As a matter of fact, they're not actually saying anything about numbers, right? Occasionally they'll throw out some weird divorce statistic, right, or some DV rate out of context, right? They'll say something like that, but they don't really. And by the way, that's another feminist tenet, right? That's why the personal is political is like a tenant. It's like, screw your numbers, screw the data. This is about how I feel in my air quotes experiences. We even have to start questioning whether these people even have these experiences. And I hate to say that as a black person, by the way. That is somewhat opening Pandora's box when we start to question whether these people have the type of experiences that lead them to say these type of things, right? But the narrative about black men is so toxic in the black community concerning black women, right? Black women, the way they speak about black men in the black community is so toxic. And it's such a steady drumbeat of black men ain't ish, black men are toxic, black men are monsters, that you have to question whether this is just rhetoric and narrative, or are these people actually living this life, right? You have to question whether they're actually living this life. So once again, $35,000, the average for black women exiting college within a year, which once again is not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not baller status, right? Now, another thing that Media Man kind of went to, and I actually want to emphasize this. If the white man is so great, then why doesn't he see the greatness in you? And I'm not saying Media Man said that exactly, but kind of went there with, and I'm going to emphasize that. If the white man is so great, then why doesn't he see the greatness in black women? Well, once again, he's trying to uphold his anti-black white racist system, so he's not going to marry black women in any significant number, which, Media Man has also said straight up. It's a white supremacist social, political, and economic order. Why would white men, excuse me, why would white men of means and power in getting locked out. I know. My apologies. Right. I'm back. But as I was saying before, Hapa babies that pass for white, we don't even have a phrase for that. And for those of you that don't know, Hapa is mixed white and Asian mix, right? White and Asian mix. So, you know, kind of restating what I stated before I locked myself out of my own phone. Um, that's why we have the phrase passing for white for mixed black people. And I'm saying this for a reason. I'm saying this to say white men, these gods amongst black women, are not going to marry black women in any significant number because they're attempting to hold up white supremacy. Duh. And it doesn't really work that way for white men and Asian women because many Hapa babies pass for white, right? The reason why the title is what the title is, for those of you that are just coming in, show proof of concept, is because for the past 4, 5, and 6 decades, there has been a steady drumbeat about how lacking black men are in comparison to black women. How black men are abusive, how black men are mean, right? How black men are poor, how black men have poor hygiene, how black men are just the worst amongst men, right? Black men do not protect black women. Black men do not protect black children. Black men do not provide. As a matter of fact, black men are predators on black children and black women, which makes them a special type of predatory, right? And they get off on it. This is what was said, right? This was what was said. This was what was suggested. This was what was implied about black men, right? This is how black men were spoken about and often spoken to, right? And so now that black men are responding, you have B. Taylor still trying to sell lies. And by the way, for those of you, once again, that are recent here, we are responding to Medium Man, shout out to Medium Man, and B. Taylor, who he was responding to in one of the videos that I have linked in my description, right? Right. So let me make sure we get the next one. And the next note is 57% of single black women struggle in repayment to afford rent and food. Now, how many of your favorite content creators are telling you that? How many of your Kim Fosters with her, we need to bring back, we don't need these Negroes feminism, and Negroes wasn't the word she used. How many of those people are telling you that? How many of them are saying that to you? That the women they say they want to bring back, we don't need these Negroes feminism, those women are 57% of the college educated women struggle to afford rent and food. Right? So that's nearly 60. Right? And Kim Foster, Kim Nicole Foster, Miss For Harriet, is telling you, let's bring back, we don't need these Negroes feminism. Right? What else we got? Well, we already know that 4% of black women are married to white men. Not this 12%. Once again, that's when you account for every married black women. That's when you control for only married black women, right? When you control for only married black women, then 12% of black women are married outside of their race. When you account for all marriageable age black women, then that number drastically decreases. And what you find is only 4% of black women are married to white men. The reason why this matters is because the way Ms. B. Taylor was speaking about divesting and speaking positively about Cynthia G, or at least speaking with some type of understanding of Cynthia G, right? This matters because, once again, this is black men responding to 4, 5, and 6 decades of misandry, of anti-black male rhetoric, of black men ain't ish, of black men are secretly gay or on the DL, of black men are predators, of black men are, we'll say, terrorists of the black community, of black men are colorists on the level of neo-Nazis, right? Of black men are poor and destitute, of black men are not on black women's level. This is a response to decades of that, right? And Miss B. Taylor represents many black women in her particular age group and cohort, right? This is a response. Another thing that needs to be said, and Media Man kind of went to this too. You have to convince you're gonna have to convince white men. Dear divestors and swirlers, you are going to have to convince white men and Latino men and Asian men that, number one, you're better than the women of their own race. Number two, you're better than women of other races outside of their own race. Number three, that you're better than same sex relationships. And number four, to save you from black men just because. Right? That's Vincent LeBeau's whole project right now, isn't it? Racist white dude, but still likes black women. And now he has to convince white men, other white men, whether racist or not, to save black women from black men and marry black women and legitimize black women. Have fun with that, Mr. LeBeau. Right? Have fun convincing white men, whether racist or not, to marry black women in this racist society, in this anti-black society, in this society where the beauty standard is some blonde hair, blue eyed, barely having a shape ass white woman. This is not so much about black women's looks, not even so much about their attitude when it comes to that. It comes to you convincing white dudes to choose black women over white men and white women and Asian women and Asian men and Latino men and Latina women, right? And as Media Man kept on saying, and as we've said over here in the Black Manosphere, and as Mr. Z has said, this is after decades And the reason why y'all are scrambling, dear, um, these particular type of black women, dear these particular type of black women, the reason why y'all are scrambling is because y'all were used to having the microphone, unfettered, unchecked, uncontested. White racist society gave you the microphone. They allowed you to walk up and down academia talking crap about black men, right? They gave you tenure just to talk crap about black men. They gave you positions in Hollywood just to talk crap about black men. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not saying you're not talented. I'm not saying you didn't work hard. I'm saying they didn't care about any of that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you didn't kiss butt. I'm not saying none of that. I'm not saying you didn't work hard. You didn't go to college. You didn't eat crow. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying that doesn't matter. That's not why they elevated you. They elevated you to fit a quota and because they knew what type of person you were. Now you got to convince them to marry you and stop smashing you in the office on the low. Right? Now you got to convince them to present you to the world as their wife. And like I said to Chrissy, and this is me also responding to Media Man and him bringing the data, five black men are more than 500,000 um more married than black women. There's more, there's more of us married by 500 and some odd thousand. It's 556, 500 and some odd thousand than black women. And as I said to Chrissy, if black men are the insufferable ones, then why are the married ones? Black women have more college degrees. Black women are more upperly mobile. Black women are seen as less of a threat. Then why are black men married? Remember, black men are the ones with the stigma. They're the ones with the violent stigma. They're the ones that are the most incarcerated. And even with the incarceration numbers being what they are, somehow black men still manage to have more than 500,000 more marriages. Right? You got to convince the white man. Dear Miss B. Taylor, for as garbage as black men are, as trash as they are, right? And how great all these other men are. Latino men build and they protect and they provide, and white men build and they protect and they provide. And Asian men protect and provide, and they definitely provide at the highest level, right? As great as these other men are, you got to convince them, right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. I'm gonna pause right here for a second, right? And yes, Mr. Z is getting breakfast. I'm gonna pause right here for a second, run inside, hurry up and make this order, and I will be right back. So y'all bear with me. Y'all talk amongst yourselves for a little while, and Mr. Z will be right back in a minute. All right, everybody. I'm back, everyone. Anubis. Thanks for the coffee, Anubis. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Oh man. Yes, I did go to IHOP. Yes, I did go to IHOP. Right. Hysterical. Some of these Anubis said I miss Cracker Barrel. Yeah, you just gotta deal with the racism in the air when you go to Cracker Barrel. You can smell it. The food is pretty straight, but the old timey stuff, you'd be like, uh, I'm smelling a bit of Jim Crowish, early Jim Crow too. This is like 19. Well, I'm sorry, not 19. 1890s Jim Crow, right? It definitely gives that. What are you doing in here, inward? Right? The breakfast is fire, but yeah, you gotta get over that feeling of Confederate. You gotta get over that good old boys feeling when you go in and Crack a Barrel, right? I'm telling you, they have all the candy with the old wrapping and all the old stuff, the old timey stuff. It's kind of nice, but yeah, right. So back to the topic at hand, and why did I not leave your comment up, Anubis? Let's see. Let's keep that up for a little while. Right. So yeah, back to the topic at hand. Once again, shout out to Media Man. He's doing the yeoman's work over there too. He's really doing some great work. He brother usually has his suspenders on, and got the tie and whatnot, and just doing great work over there, and needs to. We need people to continue to respond. Yes, we're moving into Black Manosphere 3.0, and um, there's some of us that are pushing for literal laws in different states. Um, we're being heard by notable people, right? We are being responded to by notable people, um, and that's important. But we still need people responding to those that may not be known as much. We need people still defending our name. We do, right? We need people to realize that we're not above getting in the mud too, right? And some of us are gonna have to get a little dirty responding every once in a while, right? Because if these people could be catty and then tell you not to tone police, shout out to you, FD signifier, then you gotta know we gotta get a little dirty too. And yes, we could be dirty without using profanity. And yes, we could respond back without even going in on the women's physicality and their look. Oh no, I could respond back without any of that. Right? Gender lore said it's me. I'm dirty. Gender war lore is another one that's doing yeoman's work over there. Right? And it's important because if we're going to have people like Miss B Taylor going on a and she has her own channel, by the way, going on to different channels, with this kind of divester rhetoric and swirler, and it's really not swirler, it's straight up divester rhetoric. This divester rhetoric, and the crew isn't really pushing back on her in the way that they could, right? Then we have to have people like Medium Man, people like Mr. Z, people like Gender Warlord, right, to respond. It's needed. No more overlook this, and no more of this Dr. Umar Johnson type. Well, if you just and even Dr. Umar Johnson kind of buys into that. He doesn't say it. Once again, Mr. Z is not putting words into his mouth. I'm saying from his actions and what he implies, it's another one of those. Well, if you're just super alpha mega black man with a dashiki on, then black women will have, and it's even Zoe kind of gets into that, right? They'll smell your essence and they'll get down with the program. Y'all need to stop. Y'all know better, especially Zoe. Y'all know better. Ain't no smelling my essence and them getting down with the program. No, these women are straight up telling you, no, you're supposed to be paymaster and I'm supposed to be free and do whatever I want, however I want. And anything short of that, it's because you're a sexist, misogynist, homophobic, transphobic, colorist, um, child abusing, DV person, right? The reason why you don't want to build, maintain, and protect while this community is a matriarchy is because you're a misogynist. Let's say that again. You're a misogynist because you won't build, maintain, protect the matriarchy. Right? And that and black men responding to this weird, perverse concept of what female power is men still doing everything they used to do just with no leadership and no say so. Right? Think about that. Like that's why Mr. Z says the patriarchy without the patriarchs. I'm going to build, I'm going to do, I'm going to maintain, I'm going to defer to the women, right? But I have no say so. And black men in general have no say so. Black men as a whole have no say, but you better still build and protect and provide, right? Right? And so Medium Man responding to B. Taylor with data point after data point, and we've already said like Medium Man is just he's just reiterating pretty much everything we've said in the Black Manosphere. The whole thing about black women being more enrolled than that whole they're more educated when really it's just that they're more enrolled, and still that's nothing to take. Okay, we won't take that away. You're more enrolled in college. That's not a negative. But even if you are more college educated than everyone else in the country, what would that mean? What does that mean for your dating, mating, marriage life? You can't, and this is another point I had, you can't hide behind your degree, people. If you are an a-hole, you can't, especially as a woman, you cannot hide behind your degree. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, if you are an a-hole person, your degree does not keep you from not being an a-hole person in other people's eyes. If you are mean, if you are catty, if you stay with the gossip, If you are insufferable, your degree doesn't fix that. Your education doesn't fix that. Right? Number one. Number two, as I've said before, all women are more educated than their men, at least institutionally, right? Black women are more college educated than black men. White women are more college educated than white men. Asian women are more college educated than Asian men. Latino women are more college educated than Latino men. What does that mean? We're more college educated than you, okay? Nice attempt at a flex, right? But that still doesn't mean that you are not insufferable. Okay, you're more college educated. How does that change this dynamic? Is this another way of gaslighting black men? Look, you ain't on my level. I'll still give you a try though, but you still gotta. That means you gotta overcompensate. You gotta kiss my butt every chance you get. Because remember, you're not on my level. I'm giving you a chance. But that's really what it is. A black woman throwing in a black man's face that she's more college educated than black men is just another way of saying you're not on my level. And what does that mean? I'm not on your level, but yet I have a higher marriage rate. I'm not on your level, but I still earn more. Right? Black men are the boogeyman of this entire society, and yet, right? And as a matter of fact, I'm going to read that comment in a minute, Demetrius. As a matter of fact, let me read your comment first so that I could keep better use comment highlighted. Um, And Demetrius says, Z, remember Themis and Petty, when they went, he said Themis and Petty, hysterical. Themis and Petty, when they went against Dr. T, and Petty said, does it not give them the right to look down on others when black women have done the work? These people have have major character flaws, don't they? Don't they? And didn't when Dr. T pushed back on, if I remember correctly, Dr. T pushed back on that. Wasn't it Themis that said, yeah, but the gap isn't big enough? If I'm not mistaken, wasn't that on the same stream? I think it was that. It might, if it's not Themis, it was one of these actually female divestors that pretty much said, yeah, black men earn more, but the gap isn't big enough. Right? And y'all give me a second. It's about to rain too, and I'm gonna run back and get my breakfast. Let me leave better use comment highlighted, and I will be right back. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And Better You says being more enrolled is a negative financially. It means you got a good chunk of debt, but also didn't get your degree. And that's the other thing, right? The debt, the debt. Y'all gotta remember, I'm a community college dropout, so I had a bit of debt myself, but I paid that off, right? But I have siblings, female siblings that are college educated. I have girl cousins college educated, girl cousins that are nurses, right? I know about that debt, right? My lady, I know how much student loan debt she's in. It's appalling, right? It's appalling. That student loan debt is a beast. I know. And these when people say 20, $30,000 in student loan debt, oh no, these people are eating way more than that. Way more. Right? And yet they're telling you how much better they are than you. And even if they were, what would that mean? Okay, let's do that. Okay, you do earn more than black men. You are more college enrolled. Not even that. You have more college degrees than everybody else in the country, right? You have more businesses. Let's take everything you say at face value, right? Except for the DV stuff. I'm not holding that for nobody, right? But yeah, okay, you are more enrolled in college and you have more college degrees than everyone else in the country, right? You have more businesses than everyone else in the country, right? You're more intelligent than everyone else. You hold the whole entire society together. And what mean exactly? It means nothing. So, in other words, what you're saying is everyone else is so intimidated by marrying you. Even Christy, like I said, had to admit, right? She had to concede that, yeah, black men are easiest to get. Translation: then black men aren't the insufferable ones. Even she had to concede it. So if we are to say that black women are the most college educated, right? Not forget fastest growing business owners, right? No, have the most businesses in the country. What would that mean exactly? Right? Okay, fine. Yeah, you do. Okay, and does that mean that you can't that means that you can't be a good person? Somebody's wannabe white racist is showing. Sorry, your slip is showing. You're undressing yourself in front of the world, right? And so to medium man, I say this is just the inner white racist and black women coming out. All of this talk is them attempting to appeal to white racist men, right? While also wanting the same power to harm and abuse others like white racist men, white racist rich elite men, by the way. Because even your normal white racist dude can't get away with certain things, right? That's all that is. Look, we got more degrees and we're more college educated and we start the most businesses and all this, not questioning why you even say the things you say. Wait, so you trying to tell me you actually believe America's a meritocracy now? The same people that admit that America picks winners and losers when it comes to beauty standard, all of a sudden you don't think America picked winners and losers in the black community? Ooh. You'll admit that there's the model minority myth when it comes to Asians, but you don't think the model minority myth exists within black community? Yikes. Huh? You speak about how white women weaponize their tears. Do black women not weaponize their tears against black men? Huh. You speak about frat bro culture, yet the Business Insider article pretty much said that black women be trying to get with these frat bros in these colleges and they be trying their ass. And we actually have one very glaring example a couple years ago with that sister that I played by the white frat bro and cried in her car. She only admitted what many of you live and y'all never want to admit. Y'all take that to the grave. Let me take that back. Y'all tell one homegirl and she tell her boyfriend, her black boyfriend. Y'all think we don't know what y'all really be doing with these white boys at college. Right? So can we start having more honest conversations? Shout out once again, shout out to Media Man. Great job. Right? And so let me make sure I hit all of those points that I wanted to. Yep. And so, to summarize everything in summation, um, ladies, you're gonna have to show proof of concept. I'm specifically talking about these divestors and swirlers and those that keep the B Taylor kind of rhetoric going, right? You are going to have to show proof of concept. If black men are so horrible and non-black men are so great, particularly white men, you are going to have to show us your white husbands. You're going to have to show us your white husbands worship. Listen, not even just complimenting you because y'all talk about how great they are. No, they got to be worshiping y'all in public. Every time they open their mouth, they'll be like, "Oh, my black wife taught me this, and my black wife did this, and my," because that's how y'all say they speak about white women, right? They can't be like Alexis Ohanian out here got in Serena running after people hit her damn self. No, 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 no. We need your white husband to be knocking Negroes out. Have fun with that, by the way. Watching your white husbands get stomped out. Um, yeah. No, we need to see your white and Latino husbands. I didn't say boyfriends. I didn't say your little situationship. No, we need to see your white and Latino and Asian husbands worshiping you, providing you the most opulent lifestyles imaginable. We damn near need to see you on the private jet with the ring and the diamond ring as big as a mountain. We need to see it. We need to see proof of concept, ladies. If everything you say is right, if non-black men are that great, then we need to see you walking through college and see the white boys running after you on college campuses, right? And we need to see like no black women in any jobs, especially in any career field that's not on the very tippity top. Because why would you work? I mean, your white boyfriend and your white husband provide you with the greatest lifestyle. Why would you be working at Walmart or Target or McDonald's or Walgreens or you name it, CVS? Why would you be working there? At any grocery store? Why would you be working there with your uber wealthy white husband, right? And when we see you driving a car, it need to be a S550 or an S600 Maybach. a 760 Li, right? Not the Maserati Ghibli. Oh no, 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 no. The Maserati Corchaporte. Not that baby little Maserati Ghibli. No, 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 no. Remember, your white dude is a baller, right? In other words, not the Lamborghini Huracan. No, the Lamborghini Aventador. We don't do baby stuff around here. Remember, your white man is a baller. So no 3 Series for you. No even 5 Series for you. No, 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 no. X7 Beamer truck or 760 Li M. Right? Because remember, your white man provides at the highest level. And when we go to your home, it got to be in a gated community, in a gated community. And yes, that does exist. Dreddy Bean said, what about the Mustang 5.0? Not good enough. It better be a GT 500. It better be the Ford GT, right? The special order one that Ford gotta go through your social media and you gotta apply for the damn car. Yeah, that's what you gotta have. Right? So no, Dreddy B, no, the 5.0 ain't good enough. Her man gotta be driving that GT 500 at the least. And have fun trying to get the Ford GT. I don't even remember how many of them they made, but you gotta apply for the damn car. Right? And better you says, Z, stop. Brad driving they Ultima and 8 put gas in it. We know, but no, remember, like white men built this and white men provide that and Latino men this and Asian men that. All right then. Cool. We're gonna hold you to that. Anubis says Range Rovers for the mongrel babies. Exactly. Ain't no Range Rovers. No, we need you to be driving the Rolls Royce Cullinan. What's that? $500,000 truck or something like that? $500,000 truck, something along those lines, right? Oh no, 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 Range Rover, that's too cheap. Certain ranges you could get for less than 100,000. Oh no, no, not a range. No, too cheap. We need to see you in that Bentley Bentayga or that Rolls Royce Cullinan, right? What 21 Savage said? This ain't no regular F-150. This is F and Raptor. We don't. If you got a truck, it better not be no regular F-150. It better be the Ford Raptor, the F-150 Raptor, right? Because this, once again, to Miss B Taylor, you got to remember, you're the one who's trying to throw what Cynthia G said in our face. We're only responding to you. Remember, right? And you and your white husband should be able to do that. I mean, remember, you're so educated, right? You're so educated, and he's such a baller. That'll be nothing. So no expedition for you, navigator, and that's still cheap and poor man stuff. But we'll let you slide with a navigator. What's a navigator right now? 80 grand, right? Something like 75, 80 grand, maybe 70. Oh wait, I'm sorry. You got to get the fully loaded one. So now we're closer to 100. Sorry, I'm sorry. Right? And yeah, Mr. Z's being facetious. Of course, right? But these people told you how great the white man is. Excuse me, how great the white man is, and how loser the black man is, right? And that's why I said you got to convince the white man. Black men are horrible. Cool. You got to convince the white man. Then you got to convince the Asians. You got to convince the Latinos, right? If these non-black men are better, and it's just black women's loyalty that's keeping them in the black community, right? Black women's air quotes loyalty, then you got to convince these white dudes or do what y'all already doing, eating vagina and staying single with your rose toy, right? I see the troll, y'all. I see the troll. Just let the troll troll. Let the troll be, right? And the troll says Cynthia G has done a great job calling out the black manosphere. This is a woman that outwardly said she wants division. This is a person that we all know have daddy issues. She admitted she has daddy issues, y'all. Y'all don't see a. Imagine that. Imagine Mr. Z getting advice from someone that said they got mommy issues. That said they used to be the bust down for white women. Imagine a black dude that said any money he pretty much his youth was being the bust down for white women, and he got mommy issues. And then he starts to advocate for aborting black male girls. Excuse me, black male girls. Excuse me. Well, Mr. Z, Freudian slip. Black girls. Imagine that. Imagine a black man saying, "Yeah, when a black woman tell you she pregnant with your daughter, push her down the stairs. You know, harm her in some type of way. Make sure she doesn't have that daughter." Imagine that. And we know he got mommy issues, and he used to be the bust down for white women. And then you have black men defending that black man, right? Imagine. Trell, I didn't need you to emphasize it. Right? And Longo says, "Morning, y'all. Are we talking about Cynthia G? No, we are responding to Medium Man who made a video responding to B Taylor, who's a black young woman that occasionally is on the crew, and she comes in with all the divester rhetoric and all the black man, the boogeyman rhetoric, and black men are not good enough, and black men are not on black women's level, and all the other DV raid and all this other stuff. And so Medium Man responded to her, and I'm responding to him responding to her, right? And I think Medium Man does really good work on his channel, actually, also. right? And the reason why I was bringing up Cynthia G is because B. Taylor, the young lady in question, um, pretty much said, "Well, she says a lot of things that a lot of young women need. What either she said needs to hear or agree with or whatever." And yeah, right. And Timmy Field says the most educated but can't count student loans. It's more than they job pay a year. Exactly. And thank you for the super chat, Timmy. And I make space, and I am somewhat sympathetic for those of us that bought into a particular type of American dream that's not paying the dividends that was suggested, right? That was suggest I make space for those of us that just went along to get along, and then we woke up sometime in our mid 20s, late 20s, maybe even early 30s for the late bloomers, and said, "What did I actually sign up for?" I make space for that. I make space for even black women that fell into that. But then when you still talking crap, oh no. When you did want to blame black men because how many, let's be very clear what it is. You made yourself overweight, you're insufferable, you are $50,000, $60,000 in student loan debt, you're mean, you're catty, you're gossipy, and you want black men to fix that by being so rich that they buy you out of all your problems. Let's be very clear that that is what these particular type of black women actually have an issue with. That black men aren't so rich, aren't so wealthy that we walk into a room with our wayward ass black girlfriend or wife, and the whole world knows to fix her issues because we're so rich, right? They really have and what have you built? In other words, what have you built that allows me to essentially be at the to be Ivanka Trump, to be Chelsea Clinton, right? That's what they really want. To be Hillary Clinton. Why am I not Hillary Clinton? Right? What have you built to put me in that position? When they say, "What have you built, black man?" That's what they're really saying. Remember Chrissy City, y'all ain't built Wakanda. Y'all ain't, excuse my language in the morning. I'm still not gonna say the word. I haven't used profanity yet, so let's keep it going. Y'all ain't ish until y'all build Wakanda, right? And by the way, I need you to do all of that and then still not have any say so in any of this. Once again, build, maintain, provide, protect, and don't expect to have any say so. The patriarchy without the patriarchs, which really is just a matriarchy. It's still women led. You just do all the stuff that men have always done, but you just don't have any say so. Trill, I ain't even gonna read it out loud. I'm not even gonna read it out loud. With the stain on the dress. Oh man. Shout out to the Eminem music video. Right? And Anubis, exactly. Thank you for the correction. Right? Gynocracy. Right? And yet we're the ones that want to oppress black women. Yeah, that's it. And on that note, you guys, let me end it right here. Mr. Z got stuff to do, right? And thank Big Kev, exact Big Kev. We'll let Big Kev be the last comment. You know, Big Kev is a loyal subscriber. Let me highlight Big Kev real quick. Let's let Big Kev have the last comment. And Big Kev says, Indigo, they don't care. This is why Shahrazad Ali caught heat because she was telling black women stop lying about being oppressed by black men and to stay away from feminist dogma. And everybody missed the message because of some slap thing that she said, right? And it's not really that everybody missed the message; they purposely like ignored the message. Everybody purposely ignored the message. And this is why sometimes you got to be careful with these type of things, because when somebody doesn't want to listen to you, or when somebody wants to play you down anyway, they'll find the one or two things that you might say that might be just a smidge out of order, and then emphasize that so they don't actually have to grapple with what you're saying. We all know this is it's a very effective debate tactic, actually. GC, I think you might have gave me my title. GC might have gave me my title for my mornings. He said, "Morning Z scriptures." Right? Morning Z scriptures. I like that. GC. I think, you know what? I might steal that. That might be my intros from now on. The morning Z scriptures. Right? I just gotta not misspeak, and I don't know how well that's gonna go over. And try not to use profanity, which I do pretty well, especially in the mornings, right? Try to make my language not as colorful, not as lively, right? And so once again, I I don't feel the need to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Once again, we're not talking about all black women. Yawn, right? We're not talking about all black women, or even, well, some situations we definitely talk about most black women. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm Mr. Z's not even gonna hold y'all. Not on that. Yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes it is most black women. Sometimes the language is most black women, but it's not all. The divester thing, that's definitely not all. But I mean, if you sit on the sidelines and letting them talk like that, and you ain't pushing back, then I don't know, right? If y'all at brunch and one of them girls is starting to talk about how horrible black men are and how great these non-black men are, right? I don't know, right? I'm just saying. Yeah. And as Big Kev said, like, stop lying about black men oppressing you. What are you talking about? We all have aunts and uncles that have been married for 20 years or whatever like that. We all know she run that damn house. Y'all need to stop with this black. You know what black male oppression is? Black male oppression is black women not oppressing. And what black women are saying is, if my mom ain't run that house, then my dad was oppressing us. What? uh, if we don't get to bark at everybody in the house, including the man of the house, then it was oppressive. He left the toilet seat up one too many times. The house was oppressive. Right? My dad had me wash the dishes. What was your brother doing? Mowing the lawn. But I had to wash the dishes. It was oppressive. I had to sweep and mop. It was oppressive. But your brother was outside in the hot sun mowing the lawn. So what? It was oppressive. And your brother had to wash the cars too, right? And oh man, I had to occasionally wash clothes. It was oppressive. Right. So on that note, we'll end it right there, man. We'll end it right there. And thank you, Big Kev. I said Big Kev. Sorry. Thank you, Kevin C, for the super sticker. Right. Thank you very much. I'll leave that up there. We'll close out with that. And on that note, everybody, we will close out right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Right. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll pause right here. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. Definitely, for the love of God, other non-Manosphere content, so you don't sound like Miss B. Taylor. Miss B. Taylor don't know what's going on in Japan. She don't know what's going on in South Korea. She don't know about Russia. She don't know about Eastern Europe. Why is Mr. Z bringing these things up? Because if you think about abuse, goddamn, you ain't seen well. You better go talk to some of them Latinas about abuse. Go and talk to Middle Eastern women about abuse. Abuse. What are you talking about? These men build and provide and protect other men in the world that living in shanties. Right? What are you talking about? Other men in other parts of the world are getting vagina and they live in shanties, in huts, literally. And I'm not saying that to belittle those men. Right. Some of these things that I read about, the wealth disparity or the income disparity, better yet, got white women earning all of 100 and something thousand dollars, and their man earns 30 grand a year. Sorry, $35,000 a year. Yeah, he works at a bike shop earning $35,000 a year. She earns six figures. And y'all talk about who's not on y'all level. If y'all don't get the entire hell out of here, right? So, once again, shout out to a media man, and I'm out, y'all. Mr. Z out. All right, y'all have a great rest of y'all day.